Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you'd like to find the show on social media, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our video episodes are uploaded on YouTube every Friday, and we currently have a podcast going that went back to the beginning of the campaign and is on episode 4, I think now. And it is uploaded on Tuesdays. For that information, you can go to our website, castingrolesilm.com. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So ticket takers, it's been about a week in Alyria, and there have been a shit ton of things that have happened, and all of them have been quite exhilarating and exciting. None so more than our last night's events, as the ticket takers decided to split the party yet again, which has always proven to be the best choice of course of action for them. And Marlowe went off with Princess Alyria to the palace to break into Yusef Arafon's office and do some snooping around there, while Abel, Kaimana, Saurus, and Jordan made their way to the Tarlo Museum of Antiquities grand opening to do some scouting about the security measures there on behalf of Jaren Pole. The foursome toured the museum, discovering several interesting different displays of various different locations around Alyria, while Abel and Jury discovered not only the room that was holding 4 arms of subversion, one of which was a fake copy of Marlowe's, but also the room that celebrated or chronicled the life story of the original Lightbringer and Guardian, the Guardian having killed the Lightbringer, but there was their armor, their weaponry, and their wedding rings, which was Jaren Pole's source of interest in this exhibit. While there, Abel had already kind of gathered the attention of the security measures in the Subversion Room by casting Detect Magic, and so you kind of learned...
He's casting it again, apparently.
That's okay. So you learned that the security measures were activated by magical elements, while Jury... there it goes. Then finally, Jury decided to cast identify on the actual security nodule itself, setting off the trap, which began to wipe the room with rays of disintegration.
That's what that was, Josh. Lovely.
The ray that hit you thankfully wasn't, but the rays that were coming afterward.
Oh, great!
But thankfully, with the help of Abel and Jaren, they were able to get Jury's paralyzed body out of the room before the trap fully activated, and hopefully away from the guards' attention. Meanwhile, while Marlowe was at the palace, successfully infiltrated Yusef's room thanks to Aloria's distraction and pulling his attention away, discovered some, however you want to feel about Yusef, some potentially sad elements of his backstory. But did discover a secret hiding place within his desk that held some interesting documents, as well as a secret hiding place within the secret hiding place that ultimately ended up setting off a trap that put Marlowe on a countdown. With some very successful and high rolls, they were able to gather all the materials that they needed and escape just in time as the anti-life bomb exploded within Yusef's office as Marlowe was drifting out of the window that they had crashed through and into the nights. Because I can't decide which is the best place to go next, Saurus, will you roll a d20 for me, please?
D20 says natural 20.
natural 20.
Nice.
So,
all right, we all talk.
I wasted on this. Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome. So, with that in mind, so above a 10 was Marlo. As we are, as kind of the last imagery of the shattered glass raining around Marlo and the purple blue or purple green explosion, which is weird because it was a silent explosion. It was just a ball of light that shoots out of the window. And you're drifting down out of the window and away towards the theater district. Marlo, which way are you going to head?
I'm invisible, right?
No, because remember when you walked into Yusef's
right,
office,
but I asked Anansi ever so politely to turn me invisible.
Yes, so good.
Okay.
So Anansi releases the spell that was being held there by Abel's previous actions, and so now you are invisible, flying over the city.
Okay. I'm gonna start heading towards the theater district.
Okay, so are you trying to like trek towards Naad's bargain or?
I guess somewhere to regroup.
All right, so you fly the full 10 minutes
somewhere public that I can be seen, be like, I wasn't there.
Yeah, so you fly like the full 10 minutes or whatever that your boots are active.
I'm just walking, I'm reading, just chilling.
Yep. So you touch down at the theater, maybe outside, like in an alley outside the Marriage Wager, and then kind of join the crowd outside Marriage Wager as you're making your way there. And you do hear kind of a voice enter into your head. Marlo, I hope you're doing all right. Yusef seems in a tizzy running around the palace. Did you get away all right? Let me know. And it's Alora's familiar voice.
Josh, would you say these past 10 minutes that I've spent walking have been enough time to read the papers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good boy.
I'm fine. He definitely knows I broke in, but I'm fine. No trace. I need to speak with you whenever you can. Fast.
Okay, so let's see how many spell slots she had left.
I know I made her do one sending today.
She has 5, so she's okay. So she calls back immediately. Can you meet me at the south gate of the palace in 15 minutes or so?
Yeah, totally. Thanks.
Yeah. So, and you've walked that way before, so you cut in that direction out of the theater district towards the Palace Hill. All right. So as you're walking through,
can I do something very quickly?
Yes.
It's late, isn't it? So like shops are closed.
So let's see. You guys went right after, so it was like 6 o'clock. So it's probably 8 o'clock. I mean, like in the theater district, shops are still going to be open.
Right, but like a magic shop.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'd like to find a magic shop really fast, please.
Okay. So as you're walking through the district, it's probably one that actually you stopped at when you were alone in the city before. And it's, kind of a late night magic shop that stays open until like 9 or 10. It's dead when you enter in. There's just an elder dwarven figure there with a grayish red beard sitting behind the counter, just smoking a very long pipe. What can I do for you?
Bag of holding, please.
Hey, the bag of holding. They've got one on here. And he reaches behind him and pulls it out. That is for 450 gold.
Throw it his way.
Okay, good. Boop, boop. You have a bag. This group now has four bag of holdings.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get one of the extra ones.
I have
all the
one.
bag of holdings.
You have
All right,
2. Good. I have 1. Jason's 1.
Yep, good. So
I have the one with the thing in it.
Yeah, 4 bags of holding. Good.
Yep.
All right, so you have a bag of holding in your.
And I will throw in the Stone of Subversion, the 2 chess pieces that I have, and the all the papers and the portrait and everything I got.
Okay, all right.
Because Yusef can't cast magic, but I am paranoid.
That's good to know. Yep. All right, so you begin making your way towards the theater district.
Yeah.
As we cut to Soris and Kaimana, who had walked out of the museum. Where were you headed after you left the museum?
Well, how far do we get before the shit hits the fan?
So the alarm went off So by the time you guys made it outside, you would have noticed like all of the guards begin to kind of rush inside. So it's probably like right as you're getting to the outer portion of the museum.
Maybe we should just hang around for a little bit.
Good idea. Should we hang about someplace shady and dark?
Is there a place shady and dark?
Yeah, so right across from the the museum is the kind of the awkward, like almost labyrinthine park that makes up the center of the prismatic quarter that has these tall, beautiful trees and like wisteria and willows and all kinds of things. So there's definitely places in there. You could imagine some like late night high to do rendezvous would probably take place here. So there'd definitely be places you could find to kind of hide out there while still being able to watch the museum from entrance.
All right, we're gonna do that.
Okay. And plan to in the process. No.
in my head though, it's like there's like a low wall or something like that, and so it's just like a descending order of like size. It's like Saurus's head, Kaimanos's head, and then like little Saurus's head.
Just peering over the wall. So if you're intending to be stealthy about it, if you'll both roll a stealth check for me, please. With advantage because you are using the scenery to your aid.
Yeah. 5 and a 10 plus 18.
18. Okay.
Do I need to roll for little Saurus, or is he just with me?
He'll be in yours because you've taught him so well to hide when you need him to.
18.
18. Okay, good. All right. So the guards who are out kind of patrolling the area do seem much more interested in the museum. And so you don't think that anybody is watching you or what you're doing. And you stealthily enter into the park area and then find a place where you can, a little vantage point where you can see. Back in the museum, we have in the second floor, Abel Jaren pulling Juridan's paralyzed body. You've managed to get him out of the room of danger. And the guards were like approaching the room, but then they saw the beams of energy. And so then you just kind of hear from the opposite side, somebody saying, turn it off, we need to get inside. And so there's like a moment of like pause before finally you hear like the magic fade and the beams disappear. Abel, how are you, Jaren, and dealing with this situation? You're muted.
So they're blocked off from us. They can't reach us?
The guards that were upstairs, they were in their patrol and they were in the other room. So when the alarm went off in the room you were in, they were coming from that direction. So they're blocked off. If you want to make a quick perception check, you can.
Yeah, I want to do perception and kind of look around and see
do the same thing.
What's
I am deceased.
around us and what direction things are. Ooh, 18.
18. Okay.
Plus something. I don't know what my perception is.
We can see well
Plus
in one
20.
direction.
Yeah, 18's good. Even whatever on top of that's great too. But so you can definitely tell that the closest guards to you are now, as the security measures are being turned off, are rushing into the room that you just left. Meanwhile, you can hear the sound of people coming up that like double wing steps, and it does sound like hobnails on marble, like people dressed in those classic looking antiquated things are heading up your way as well. So you have just a few moments to somehow make the three of you appear as if you are not
being sketchy.
So no one can see us from where we are now. What's the closest room that's not occupied?
You could potentially try to drag Jury across the hall back into the Arms of Subversion room.
Will they see us if we head that way?
If you move quickly, probably not.
Okay, so I tell Jordan this way.
Jordan,
drag him this way.
Oh, you saw
Jaren.
Okay,
Jaren.
Yeah. So Jaren, go ahead and make a strength check really quick.
Strength.
You're dragging me.
Strong, right?
You're dragging me.
Athletics.
Ooh, another 18. Okay, hold on.
The
Whatever
adrenaline's pumping.
Exactly.
And that's a 16 for Jaren. So you
Athletics.
quickly,
I got nothing to athletics.
so you quickly grab Jury. And as you're pulling, as you're crossing the threshold into the arms of Subversion Room, Jordan, you do feel this burst of like warm energy wash through you as Jaren casts a 2nd level Cure Wounds.
Jaren, you dear. I like him, Abel. Okay, I like him.
You heal for. Ooh, that's a good roll. You heal for 18 hit points.
Ooh.
He cast that on Abel, right? Because I didn't get hit.
Oh, I thought
Ronnie,
you got hit.
Abel got hit.
Abel was.
I got hit with the.
Okay, then
you rolled for
Abel.
who got hit, and Abel got hit. So it's more romantic.
Oh, right, because Jaren's roll was high enough to pull you out before it happened, and Ronnie was at the back. Right.
Yep.
So Abel, I apologize. So that 18 hit points go to you, Abel, not to
Jaren. If I could make a face. If I would be making a face right now.
Your eyes.
I'm glad
you see the twinkle in my eye, and you know.
Okay. About a minute has passed, Jordan, so you can make another Constitution saving throw.
All right, listen, con save. We really need this to happen.
Spells. Let me see my spells.
Oh, I got an 8. That's not gonna fuck.
Oh,
yeah, you're still the paralytical effects are still affecting you. But you guys have now dragged Jordan into the arms of the Subversion Room. You're kind of there with those gently rotating, mystical weaponry and devices, and you can hear as you're kind of sitting there the booted nails the boots make their way up to the top, and then they curve into the room, and they're like, fan out, surely they can't have gotten far.
Okay. Ooh, I can do revivify, but I don't know if it's active or not.
Well, Jordan's not dead.
I'm not dead. I need like lesser restoration.
Yeah, which is not an artificer thing.
Oh, so revivify is just if you're dead.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let me see if Jaren is smart enough to notice what could happen here. Jaren grabs you, Abel, and says, we need to get him into this corner, and begins pulling Jordan back towards a corner out of the way of the door. And then you watch as Jaren vanishes as he casts invisibility on himself. And then can you do the same to Jury? You hear the whisper.
I can. Yes, I can. Okay. And I will cast invisibility on Jury.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so you're now the only one that's invisible.
All right. So I'll kind of poke my head around the corner and try to look confused and a little frightened at all the commotion that's going on.
Okay, good. Go ahead and make a deception check for me. And then you can't move, Jury, so this doesn't affect you. So I'm going to have Jaren make a stealth check to make sure he can stay hidden. Okay.
Deception. Okay, what will my deception be? All right, this is the Jace dice. 12.
Okay.
Plus, I don't think I have anything plus to my deception.
Do whatever your charisma is.
Deception is going to be. Fuck.
Deception is fuck.
I can't find it. Where
What's
is
your charisma score?
What's your charisma score?
BB?
My charisma's like I think it's a 10. Oh, it's a 12.
Oh, so you.
It's a plus 2.
Oh, plus 2. Okay, so that's a 14 to charisma. Okay, to deception. All right, so
it literally, I don't see anything that says deception on my thing.
It'll be under your abilities somewhere.
It's under the D's. It's past athletics.
It should be alphabetical.
Okay, I found it. Never mind.
Okay. We're not judging. We're just,
All right. So about that time, the guards had gathered in one space and they've begun fanning around. And 2 guards enter in and they kind of pass by you and then they wheel around and like, "What are you doing up here? Did you see anybody run past?"
I'll just silent, but I'll just like try to look shocked. That's all I'm doing.
He says, we're looking for they said it was a half orc, flamboyantly dressed. Any sign?
I feel like that this doesn't need to be deception. This should just be like.
Wait, that's how I'm paralyzed.
Performance.
Yeah, this is oh, thankfully, because guards in my universe suck, I just rolled back-to-back 8s.
Yeah, let's go,
Lord
guards.
of mercy.
Yeah, let's
Harlow
go,
Whistleton
guards.
doesn't pay these clowns for shit.
Lord.
The guards are my favorite part of this game.
I cannot imagine. Like, literally, this dice was like, for Jaren was rolling like 18, 17s, like. And so they kind of run past you, and then they, like, one of them finally turns and says, "You need to get yourself to safety. We're closing down the museum for the evening." Okay.
Slowly start to.
And they.
I'll clear my throat and let Jaren know, and maybe they can pull Jury and kind of like follow me.
Okay.
While invisible.
Jury, another minute has passed, so you can roll another con save.
Okay.
I wish I could give guidance on it, but I don't know.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god.
Buddy.
You know, Jury's laying there and they're like, I'm really having this fucking kind of day, huh? Like, huh.
Every day, Jury wakes up and says, "Oh, it's really this kind of day." Huh?
You know what?
Fucking day.
Today is really gonna be like this. Ever since Feldspar, nothing's been quite the same, huh?
What's that meme? It's like, God has allowed me to live another day on this earth, and now I will make it everyone else's problem.
My problem.
So, Abel,
It's like sneak me different.
do you leave the room?
I will slowly, pretending like I'm like scared and kind of looking around, make my way. But like, so I want to clear my throat. So,
Okay. You hear
Jaren.
just like a quiet cough from the corner where Jaren is. And then a moment later, let's see.
Sliding
so
A
I'm
grunt of
just-
exertion as Jaren's trying to lift Jury up and did not roll very well on his strength check.
oh, no.
Just go ahead. We'll catch up as slowly as we can.
Okay, I'll make my way to the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Oh God, the stairs.
Moment you get there, there's a few guards that are just like telling everyone evacuate, and then you see people are like running around the upper balcony, and there's guards like running from room to room at the bottom level. They're definitely checking for this half orc that was pinged.
Okay. I'll start making my way down the steps. I mean, there's not much I can't carry an invisible body without looking weird. So,
All right. So you make your way down down the steps. Jaren tries to start carrying you. Oh, Lord.
Is it another minute?
Yeah, we'll say
Can I
another
roll
minute's
again?
passed.
What was it? Is it
Con
con?
save.
Okay, come on, Jordan. Let's have a good day, okay? Oh my god, I rolled a 6. What the fuck?
is going
I'm
on?
stuck. I have a
Dice.
+2.
Use your real dice.
I don't ever use my real dice. I don't even have
Maybe
three
it's
dice.
time to
You
start.
have so many real dice.
But I don't
Why
have a
would you
dice
not use
roller, and
them?
I have a glass counter.
This is understandable.
oh yeah.
That's why. I actually was gonna buy a dice roller, and
No, I'll make you one. It'll be fine.
no, I need one faster than that. But make one eventually. Well, no, I mean like for game constantly. I need it. Okay. I have a dice now. Okay, I'll roll with this.
Jaren
next
is moving
time.
slowly as he's taking you around. And he like kind of has got you leaning against him, and he's kind of dragging you through. And he's a big guy, but he keeps running real shitty on his athletics.
Yeah.
And he's like pulling you through.
Doesn't have a good grip, you know.
And you get to like the balcony that overlooks the bottom floor, and he kind of slams up against the side of the balcony because there's a couple guards running by. And they skid to a halt a few like 10 feet up, and one goes, "Did you hear something?" And they like turn.
Did I hear this happening?
So you're about halfway down the stairs. If you're watching from the direction of where they're going, you do see the guards run by and then kind of stop and then turn back like they're going to go.
I want to trip and fumble and kind of like grab onto the railing of the steps.
Make an athletics check or an acrobatics check that you absolutely want to succeed upon.
Acrobatic?
Yeah.
Why do
just
you want me to
that
do
one
that?
and fall over
Because
the
you were
rail.
trying to trip and fumble without actually tripling and fumbling.
Acrobatics.
It's gonna be like one of those TikTok videos where they go over the rail.
Oh man.
Oh no.
14.
Okay,
Oh,
that's probably
yeah.
good enough. So
Yeah.
you stumble a few steps and go, oh my lord, oh my lord, and you hit the railing and like sell it really well. And the two guys up at the top, they like peer over the railing and they turn to each other and go, must have just
Yes,
been this
like-
one. As we said, get out of the museum as quickly as you possibly can.
Sorry.
And then they turn and go back the way they were going because they assumed that the sound they heard was the one that you were making. All right, so then let's
I'm gonna slow down and kind of like.
Am I rolling too to see if I recover?
Yeah, con save. Okay, that's better for Jordan's athletics.
19, baby, let's
19.
go.
So
All
finally,
right.
Jordan,
Me
you
and the
Thank you,
dice will
Jesus.
hang out.
you feel that you gain
Thank you, Mysterio.
you gain the control of your body. It's a little
Oh my
pins and needly, but
Yes.
you can feel that action
I-
going.
I whisper to Jaren and I'm like, do you think Dimension Door works in here?
I mean, I guess there's the only way to find out, right?
All right, let's give it a fucking shot. All right, I tried a Dimension Door.
Okay, so the moment you cast the spell, invisibility fades as you're casting
Okay.
it.
It's all right. I can cast invisibility again if this goes wrong.
Okay. Immediately as you're casting, you hear, there they are! Get them! Stop them now! And
Shit.
every guard is beginning to converge, but the door opens. You and Jaren step through.
Thank God.
Jaren was invisible, so they just saw you step through.
Sure, that's fine.
Thank God.
Which direction were you aiming the dimension door?
I feel like I would know that going towards the front's not going to be a good thing, so I would have aimed to like end up behind the building.
Okay, cool. So, which you've not been in. So let's see what happens. Okay. So you teleport 500 feet behind, through the museum, to the back, and okay. So you plop down and you find yourself on the roof of a museum annex that's connected to the back of the building. You can probably assume like a storage or kitchen space or something. But when you look up, you can see like the stained glass windows of the part of the museum that you couldn't get to before because it was
Sure.
roped off.
Yeah.
But you are outside. The only problem is that this annex has walls on all sides that are about 15 feet high that go towards other buildings that surround this space. So you're kind of in like a little culvert here that you have to try to get out of.
All right, Jaren, which way should we go?
Well,
I'll Dimension Door us again.
then let's see what is around here. Have you ever been to the Wine Cellar?
Oh fuck, yeah, I've been there.
I think it's about.
I know
four-
where it is.
It's 2 or 3 doors down from here. That's probably about 500 feet.
All right, I'll put us in Corinne's fucking shop.
Okay, good. So you
Oh,
dimension
you
door.
did 3 doors down.
You dimension door again, and you pop out again, and you like stumble over and just like you knock into a display case in Corinne's be your own manager, and like a couple lotions spill over and go over, and Corinne's like at behind the counter. What on earth is the meaning of this? What are you doing in my shop? I just need to call
Corinne.
the authority. Oh, it's you.
Just getting a little of the juices flowing before the fight tonight.
Yeah, well, oh, so you all are planning on coming and fulfilling that obligation of yours?
Well, I didn't make that deal, but I assume the others.
Well, they're getting ready to start the fights down there in the next hour or so. So you need to get your friends here too.
I'll go get them right now.
Okay. Jaren, at that moment, Jaren just like he does an action that reveals himself, and
Yeah.
and he's like, well, that could have gone worse, I suppose. Do you
Man,
think
I really-
Abel made it out all right.
I was really hoping like you and Abel could teleport and be like a romantic thing maybe, and like it had to be mean. That's awkward.
Not really in the artificer's wheelhouse to teleport around.
Yeah, that's probably for the best with Abel.
Oh,
Anyway, we
that's-
should
We should go
he'll
find
be-
them and reconnect with them.
yes. I'll start messaging them once we get closer. But we
Alright.
should be. They saw me, so we should be covert.
All right. So Source and Kaimana, as you're kind of outside, you do see the figure of Abel approach the front door, and Abel, having probably seen all of the guards tearing off towards where Jury was, and Abel's walking out alone.
I'm just gonna Well, do they? I don't see them though, right? They're
No,
stealthing.
they're pretty stealthily hidden.
Okay, so with no means of communicating with anyone.
Oh, and Josh, I'll use my disguise self too. My hat of disguise.
That works.
Just to clarify, we're not just walking around.
Yep,
normally.
absolutely.
I'm gonna walk out the building, and I'm just gonna walk maybe a block or two away.
Come on. Little source to
looking-
get Abel's attention.
Okay, that's not something I've trained him to do. No, I know what I'll do. So I will cast. Is he about to walk within 30 feet of us, do you think?
I mean, he's walking out of the museum and he's like starting to make his way down the road in front of you. That's probably about 30 feet. Yeah.
All right, yeah, I throw an ice cube at him.
So, Abel, you feel something like ping against the back of your head as you're walking.
What the fuck?
Another one.
Do I see? Why does it say I still have exhaustion? Do I have exhaustion? I do have exhaustion.
You stayed up all
You did,
night
you stayed
reading,
up all night.
I
right?
did.
Yep.
Wait,
Okay.
didn't
So some of
you-
those rolls should have been at.
Wait,
disadvantage,
didn't
yeah.
you sleep during the day? So your
Oh, you did.
exhaustion
Yeah,
went
your
away?
exhaustion-
Your
yeah.
exhaustion
Yeah,
should
yeah,
be
yeah.
gone.
Okay, so I
So you
should have
shouldn't have that.
that damage. I gotta remember my damage should be.
Um,
Okay,
But you do.
while I do this,
As you turn around, the second ice cube pelts you in the forehead, so you can kind of get a sense of the direction that they're coming from.
okay, can I make it that way without being seen by any other of the guards or any other peering
Well,
eyes?
it would be very difficult to make it anywhere right now without people seeing you, just because everybody who is in the museum is currently milling out, but they're also heading in all different directions out of the museum to their various different locations. And now there are actual Crown's guards outside of just the museum guards who are also showing up on site. So you can just like meander away.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
sort of blend in with the crowd and kind of head in a direction where I can meet up with Source and Kaimana.
Okay, so you walk into
A
the
little
little
Source.
the square, and you see Source and Kaimana just like behind a hedge, and then
Like
keeping an
this.
eye out. Yeah.
Have you all seen Jordan and our new friend Jared?
No.
Something went down inside, and I believe that Jury may have somehow implicated themselves in
That
now
sounds about right.
Yep. They really just,
So you didn't trip the alarm.
it was not me. I can honestly
Was not you.
So we need
It
to-
wasn't me, but they caught you on camera.
so we need to figure out. Last I saw, they teleported away somewhere. So
All right, I will cast. Would locate animals or plants work for this?
Unfortunately not, because jury is not an animal or plant or plant. Plants.
Yeah,
Yay,
I said
plants.
fuck plants.
Okay,
tonight,
no,
and
I
usually I'm
heard that. I
covered.
loved it so
No,
much.
it was really loud. Bob gave a little startled noise, and I was
Loved
like,
it.
Oh my god.
"Write that, write that."
I actually, I have Skywrite prepared. So
Oh
I
my
will-
god.
Oh my god,
guy, right?
Finally
Yeah.
use Skywrite.
it is.
I will
Yeah.
cast Skywrite.
What do
Okay.
you write in
What
the
are you
sky?
writing in the sky?
Atwood. Please let me know.
Okay, you see it.
Please let me know what you write in the
Up to
sky.
10 words can form in the sky. So yeah, it's just gonna say Kaimana and Saurus are in the park.
God.
The meet and greet is on.
Meet and greet's
Yeah.
on.
No.
Okay, so as anybody in the entire town of Anarvir basically can see,
Also,
suddenly-
surrender Dorothy.
Suddenly the clouds that are slightly obscuring the almost full moon are beginning to take a shape, and the words Kaimana and Saurus are in the park scrawl out along in the sky, and it's only like a few moments pass before somebody looks up and goes, "What the hell is going on around here? Check the parks, scan the parks. They might have escaped that direction."
Oh, no.
I look up at the sky and I'm like, Jaren, you don't think they're dumb enough to actually be in the park, are they?
Well, surely not. I've heard great things about the ticket takers. I've heard that they're absolutely great at their jobs, and they always know what
Shit,
to do.
they're in the park, those idiots. God, they're definitely 100% in the park, Jaren.
So after Kaimana casts this, you all suddenly notice that some of the Crown's Guard are making their way around you, and that's thank God, 18 Anzel, I love you so much. You hear behind you. You all just certainly get into shit every single night, don't you?
This wasn't us. This wasn't us.
And Enzel says, this way, and begins to tear through the park at a quick pace. Leading,
Are we in the park? We're in the park?
Yes, leading away.
Y'all
What
were.
would you
Why would
lie?
you do that?
Because it's Kaimana.
I thought we were at the museum.
So
Y'all, you went to find them there.
if the three of you would like to follow Enzel, you may.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should follow
Let me
so
tell you,
she
it would
tears
be
through
in
the
your
park
interest.
and makes it off to another thoroughfare and begins to slowly walk through. And she turns and looks in your direction, and she just says, Bolton got the notification that Jury had attempted a dimension door. So we assumed that something was afoot. I was in the area and was sent to investigate.
Does Judy know that you are tracking the spells?
Yes.
Well, it's the rune that Bolton has attached to Juridan's dulcimer.
Ooh. Surprised they haven't carved that rune off by now, but okay.
I think that would violate their parole.
Absolutely. Surely,
Yes, and criminals always follow the rules, yes.
surely you did not steal anything from the museum this evening?
No.
No, we would not be that dull.
We did not try to steal anything from the museum.
Well, that's
I
good to
believe-
know.
We actually left things in the museum.
It's El Caso of truth.
Kaimana and I were outside when the alarm went off.
Well, just know that the security measures within the museum did identify a half-orc, but not clearly enough that Juridan's full physical appearance would be given, but perhaps ask them to tone down their wardrobe for the next couple days.
Yes, the gods did describe a flamboyantly dressed half-orc, so...
Earth tones it is.
Yes.
That will make them suffer enough for their crimes.
Well, I must get back to the museum to properly investigate on the behalf of the risk breakers, or Talo will have all of our heads. Stay out of trouble, please.
Thank you. We appreciate your assistance. Thank you.
Right. And she double backs and makes her way back towards the museum.
So do you think Jordan's in the park? We should probably meet them there.
Juridan, where would you and Jaren have gone?
So me and Jaren are disguised. So I'm disguised. Jaren
Jaren doesn't need to be, but
wasn't
he's-
seen.
yeah.
So I'm feeling like we can walk up the thoroughfare. So we're probably walking up the road
Okay,
in
and-
front of it, glancing
Yeah,
around.
you walk by the park area and you're watching just like Crown's Guard and all kinds of things like tearing through the park with various drift lights and things like that, lighting up the park area.
How many noble romantic rendezvous did they just how many scandals do they interrupt?
See,
Roll a
this
1d6.
is gonna be like the like that moment in
That's a good question.
in Amelie when she says exactly how many orgasms are happening in the city at the time.
Bro.
5.
Oh my god, that's quite a few.
That was
They're like,
what I just-
these people are like, who the hell is Kaimana? This asshole.
You just see it's like one of those old paintings from the Romanesque, or not Romanesque, the burlesque period where I keep saying the wrong thing, Baroque period, where they're just like, oh, flying through the window, like their bosoms out. They're just like, oh my gosh.
It's the
Oh,
tales of
jeez.
ribaldry.
Yes.
So I'm trying to message around to see if any of the messages ping one of them.
Okay. So you go ahead and roll just a d4 for me really quick.
A D4.
There's 4 directions. So.
I got dice now. I got a 1.
1. So the first message you send does not hit any of your compatriots. Roll again.
I'm going to D&D Beyond because I hate
And
doing this.
and
I
you
got
know
a
that
4.
4. Okay. Yeah, 4 is right. So you ping first, kind of like off in this direction, and then you're like, you don't hit anybody, and so you're like, okay, well maybe they're this way, and you go the exact opposite range. And so were you attacking Abel, Saurus, or Kaimana?
Probably Abel.
Okay, so what message do you send to Abel?
Abel, let's meet not in the park. How about this alleyway? I described the alleyway next to where we are. Thank you.
Oh, I can respond?
Yep.
You can respond to
You
this
can
message.
respond to this message. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, we would meet you there in a moment. We are on our way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell Source and Abel, Lord, and Little Source, so we can start looking for the alley that Jury has described.
Okay. With that in mind, like you are all able to get back together, and unless you desperately want to hang out in the prison quarters some more, I assume that you are probably going to head somewhere else for safety.
Yes.
Where would the group want to head?
We haven't heard back from Mar yet.
I want to swing by.
I'll check.
the
Go ahead.
boat.
Sorry.
I want to swing by the ship to drop off the sending stone to Beaker and to tell them to prep the ship for a quick takeoff, because based on how the evening's going, we're probably going to need that sooner rather than later.
Good. So
we can do that, and we'll debrief like while we're doing that. And I want to say I check in telepathically with Abel, since Jury mentioned we haven't heard over the nonsense. I don't know. Everyone's Abel.
Everyone's
Able.
I'm so full of myself.
We're gonna play a one shot that's just called 5 Abels.
Oh God.
5 Abels and a Nazi.
That's a band. That's a Motown band.
5 Abels and a Nazi.
Oh, but you check in with a Nazi? That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just telepathically check in with a Nazi while we're walking towards the ship to drop off the.
He telepathically marches back to you. Is like basically approaching the palace again.
Okay.
Part of me wishes that it would happen while they were falling out the window, so all Abel sees is the explosion and the glass and everything.
Yes.
He's like, she's crazy.
All right.
She's insane.
So as you all are debriefing, merging back with the crowd, heading back towards the ship, we'll get back to you at the ship in just a moment.
Okay.
Marlo, you're approaching the south gate of the castle, the lower gate.
How does switching attunement things work? Do I have to like sit in one spot and do that?
It takes a short rest.
Okay, perfect. I don't do that then.
Okay.
I got my fly boots.
Yeah. So you're approaching the south gate entrance, and there's a couple guards that are standing there, but one of them is chatting with an individual in a cloak with a hood up, and they kind of turn like, and then the person with the cloak kind of pulls it back and, oh no, she's with me. You can let her through really quickly. Thank you so much. And they open the gate, and Princess Alyria is standing there. Thank God. I was so concerned. You made it out all right. Did you find what you were looking for?
You could say that.
Good. Enough to bring Yusef down or unmask him in some way?
We need to talk.
All right. Here, there's a small park over this direction, and she kind of makes her way to like one of the many parks that line the walkway that end up.
Oh, come on.
I happen to
God,
glance
save
at the
the-
sky at this time and see a little writing and
Yes.
just kind of sigh to myself
Soros and Kaimana are in the park.
and just say nothing and keep going.
So there's like a cobbled pathway that kind of winds up the hill, and it's lined with trees and beautiful flowers and things like that, and you're kind of making your way that direction.
So I guess, can I do like a perception check, hearing, is anyone even close to us right now?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. With advantage because you're trying to do it based on sound and smell.
Yeah, okay, well that's not, well, there you go. Not 20.
Yeah, you don't. Aside, like you get it, the aroma of the guards who are at the gates, but the space that you're walking through, I mean, all you get is the beautiful fragrance of fresh flowers, and there are no people around.
I mean, they're prepping for war. They're ready to go.
Of course.
They are trying to assassinate Ford and Braid. It's worded interestingly, but it's correspondence from Dane to Yusef talking about Braid slipping into a peaceful retirement before being unceremoniously removed in disgrace and replaced with Hawk.
Kratos, of course. Should we warn Braid that this is afoot? Because as deft as he is as a military leader, he is not one for politics.
I think so. I think it's complicated. I think there's multiple reasons they want Braid off. I mean, obviously to get Hawk on and solidify the kind of union they're doing. This is going to sound really off topic. What do you know about your mother?
Oh, Floria Bellanor. She was a school friend of my father's. They met when they were in studies. They married shortly after graduation. Beautiful. Not much. She died when I was only a year old.
Right.
When my brother was born.
Right. Do you know anything about your parents' marriage specifically?
Not exactly. No one ever really told me stories about their marriage, and so I assumed that it was probably not a romance for the ages. She was the child of patricians, historically during a time period in which patricians and the crown were at odds, so it was probably a marriage of political convenience. I do know that my father, in his public letters that were in the library now, that he wrote very fondly of her, that his love for her had been for a long time, but there's no like record from her.
I found pieces of Yusef keeping a journal of sorts to himself in his office, and they were important enough that they were buried behind a death trap. Yusef went to school with your father and your mother.
Yes, I remember. That's why Yusef got his position as Hand to the King. They were childhood friends.
Yusef was in love with your mother. And but he is a commoner, and your mother was not. And like you said, it was very convenient for the patricians to have one of their own marry the king. And when you were born, all of a sudden the Curia Regis began this campaign against you, right? That you couldn't be the heir to the throne. And they said that it was because of your gender. And Alyria, I think it was because of your legitimacy.
What do you mean?
They
just said that the line of Bellanor would not pass to me. You mean that the king may not have been my father?
I'm not telling you this because I want to hurt you and I don't want you to think differently about yourself and your family. But Alyria, you've been lied to and used your whole life, and you have to know why. And I will hand her the portrait of her mother with Yusef, with her writing on the back to Yusef that says, "Secrets may fade with time, but the truth is held between us."
Hot damn, son.
So you mean that my father might be Yusef Erefan?
Oh, the hits keep coming.
I mean, Alyria, he didn't write it straight out.
Oof.
But it lines up. Alyria, you were sent off to Nuevia when you were very young. And the only people on the Curia Regis who would have known at that time, all of them are gone, except for Thornton Braid and Unali Troma. They're trying to assassinate Braid.
As you're talking, she immediately starts casting a spell. Unali, tell me who the fuck my father was. I'm sorry, Ma. What were you saying?
You're fine. But they're trying to remove Unali's spot on the council. And Alyria, this is going to sound awful, but a man like Yusef wants power. And if he marries you to Kratos Hawk and Renly dies, and he has written how much he hates Renly for killing your mother, in his words, then he has his heir on the throne.
A moment passes, and you see her eyes go white for a second. I've never known Unali to lie before, but I can tell she just did.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know what to do with this information, Marla.
I don't know what to do with it either, but Alyria, it is your decision. If you want me to go burn everything I just found and speak of it to no one, I will. But Yusef hid this for a reason.
Keep it.
Okay.
It might come in handy. I refuse to call that man my father.
He's not your father.
I'm going to go have a conversation with Miss Troma.
All right.
She begins to make her way back towards the south gate entrance, and does not necessarily wait for you. Is just like this. This is now a princess on a mission.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I just follow. If she's done talking, we're done talking.
Yeah. Gets to the front gate. The guards are like, "Princess, you can't go out after dark," and she just like pushes past and makes their way through. Gets to the people mover, hops on, and begins to. It's such a horrible terminology to use in such a serious moment. And makes their way north towards the Acumen's bureau. Right, we cut back to the.
Oh, I can't believe
what I had to sit on for 5 fucking days.
I can't believe I'm so stupid that I put together half of that and I didn't put together the important half. I was like,
no, you and I literally talked about like, what if it was the queen, and we didn't put together the fact of, oh no. Yep.
I didn't put together that could have been that.
I didn't put together the possibility until after Jace was wrecked.
Oh no!
Nice.
But in thinking about what could do this, it's like there's something that has to make Yusef either redeeming or somehow in the mix. And with him having the picture, I'm like,
well, yeah, I
really game serious.
Yeah. Well, it's like it had to be some. I mean, like, what would he walk away behind?
I know.
A death trap.
A death trap of that.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, wow, I wish I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's
Because
no.
that makes everything a lot worse, actually.
I understand why now. But
yeah, don't you understand what I've been saying?
Poor Laura, like this whole time he's been plotting to try to get her on the throne.
Yep, and he hates her. That's the thing he does. It is not about her at all. It's all about him.
So gross.
Wow, Rob, we could get away with like murder now.
No,
Like, the group-
that's not what you need to
That's
take away
why is
from
that
this.
the takeaway?
No, but
And
like,
that's
That's
the
a
takeaway.
commoner.
like on one hand we've
My
got like
camera's
mark
going.
theft.
Your
On the
camera's
other
going.
hand,
Yeah.
we've got destabilizing the monarchy. And you and I are just out there
Patriot.
planting beans. Like
Just plant all the beans, like all of
Let
the
me
beans.
tell you,
Yeah.
sweet boys, you just keep planting the beans, okay?
But like even Lenaria wasn't on the council then, because that's like right after she got by
Victor Rylus.
So she was temporarily off.
Yep.
Yep. Really cool.
I
Oh
love that
my-
I like laid all of the traps of that reveal when I gave you the history of the Curia Regis. And it's not until you get like
Yeah.
this that you're like, oh, now all
Yeah.
that shit makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warren Windsor's campaign
Yeah.
had literally nothing to do with sexism.
Yeah.
All right.
Not Warren, the granddad.
The
Yeah.
granddad, yeah. Which I think I didn't name.
Eldest
He just went as
Windsor.
the Windsor grandfather.
Daddy Windsor.
So Soros
Daddy
and Kaimana
Windsor.
and Abel,
Daddy.
you make your way. Oh, and Jordan, you make your way to
Yep.
the ship. And like the moment you're coming around the ship, it's interesting. Like the ship deck is kind of lit up. And you see the rats are all just kind of like sitting around like a little, not like a dumpster fire, but like a little light that
dumpster fire.
Like a bonfire.
We're the dumpster fire.
So,
We're
like
the
a
dumpster
bonfire
fire.
with like a thing, so it's
and
not
they're
like the
like
ship.
they're like dancing around, or like one of them's like trying to learn how to play like the bongo drums or whatever, and they're just kind of like having a little a night on the deck. You can see that they have raided or purchased alcohol from somewhere, and there's a couple bottles that are just being passed around. And
That's a
Beaker
deal.
Beaker sees you, Soros. It's like, Soros, it's so good to see you, Soros.
Are they going to be in proper condition to fly the ship?
We are always ready to go whenever you need to leave it.
Oh. Okay.
Are any of them sober?
Yeah, so Alimbic is pretty sober.
Yeah, because he's
Okay.
concussed from the day before.
That's
The
true.
whole
Also, to
meeting.
Mortar's a
clarify-
big boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and to
He might
clarify,
be tipsy.
Yeah, Mortar's fine. Yeah.
and to clarify, our plan isn't to move the ship until tomorrow
Right.
for everyone on the same page in this.
Yeah.
That's-
so
Not tomorrow, right? We're
Or-
talking about during the masquerade.
During the
Yeah,
masquerade.
masquerade. So 2
Yeah.
days from now. So we're not
Perfect.
planning yet, but just so everyone's on the same page.
So, Alembic, I give Alembic the sending stone. It's like, tomorrow I need you to give this to Beaker once Beaker is capable of speech again. You'll understand what I mean in the morning. Things are going on where we may have to move quickly. So what we need to do is for you guys to have the ship ready to go at a moment's notice. And that means having the engine on, having everything topped up, cast off the spring line so that only the bow and stern dock line are holding. Keep a hatchet by them so if we have to go suddenly, you can cut it. And after we leave, take up the gangplank, and the only people who are allowed on are us, Princess Alyria, King Renly, or Ogawan.
That sounds great. What's a bow line?
Oh
I
You
showed
see-
you this. It's the front one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They mean
So
the
there's-
front
there's the
strings
front
or
one-
the back strings.
There's the front strings, the back strings, and 2 strings that are crossing. Go ahead and unhook the 2 screens that are crossing. Those are called spring lines.
Don't worry, I'll
Uh,
write this all down for you. I start writing down a list for them, so it's
I
easier.
don't know. That
Wait, they
Olivia's
can
the
read.
only one that can read, so.
Beaker can read because they're a
Beaker can read, that's
cleric.
true. Yep.
Yep. So I write down the instructions for
Um,
them. So. With diagram.
Soros is my best friend. He's the best. We burnt down a circus tent together.
Wait, did Beaker level up because he was in that fight
No.
too? Okay, not yet. Not yet.
No,
Beaker.
he leveled up in the dragon fight.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Well,
He needs one more good fight, and then
Yes.
he'll be there.
So we're good to be the best.
we are great at burning things down.
We burn it all down.
So
Soros.
Beaker, who
You have no
initiated-
idea.
who initiated the trouble at the circus?
It was Soros did it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
He
sense.
just kicked someone in the balls, just right in the balls.
Punch. As far as I'm concerned, we're even. So
they deserved it. In my defense,
yeah,
you all know fighting carnies doesn't count for karma. Like that.
I'm not the one who set the tent on fire.
No, that was Kaimana.
Yeah, of course.
But Kaimana put it out, so it's only fair.
It's a wash.
Alembic is like looking through the notes that you've written and just goes over to you, Jury. Also, what's a gangplank?
So I put everything in layman's terms.
Okay.
So I don't put them in actual terms. I'm like piece of wood at front.
Okay.
You know, it's like
Piece of wood people walk on to get on and off ship.
No, it's not.
This is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Boat steering thing.
This is called translation. Sometimes you need a little bit of that.
Okay. And you see Olympic like immediately start like making notes of like, this is Mortar's job, this is Pestil's job, and none of them seem to be Olympic's job.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I told you he's smart.
Yep. And he's wearing the headband of intellect now, so he's much smarter. All right.
Is there anything else you guys want to do on the ship?
No, I think we should head back to the inn and wait for everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Do
by
you guys
everyone
mind
else,
if
I mean Marlo.
Do you guys mind if I talk to Abel for a minute? You guys go ahead and we'll catch up.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Jerem would have like peeled off from you all when you got near Maird's Wager, and he would have gone back to Maird's Wager.
So when
he would
Jaren was
have at
leaving,
some
I was
point-
like,
he would have at some point like pulled Abel to the side.
"Oh, do
Um,
that first."
Thank you so much for fulfilling the request. The tiki-takas are messy but effective.
That is a fair assessment to make. And it was our pleasure to help. We do plan on retrieving what belongs to your family. But since we are exchanging gratitude, thank you for helping me with Jordan. I would not have been able to get him out on my own.
I'm just glad that I arrived in time to be of some assistance.
You were a big help. Thank you. Actually, now that I am thinking about it, we have a masquerade ball that we are to attend. Perhaps you would want to join me as my guest. There may be information that we could glean from the partitions who were there to help us retrieve what belongs to your family.
Of course, a night of subterfuge and espionage.
Sure, and it might just be fun. We
there
can't deprive ourselves of that when the opportunity arises.
Is there a particular look that I should go for?
I would say just be yourself. But it is a masquerade ball, so.
He like taps his chest and like closes his eyes for a second, and you watch as the glamour weave that he's wearing like transforms into like a golden and black cloak that kind of drops down with golden crossing at the chest. Something like this, perhaps.
That is a good look for you.
Well,
I would go with that, yes.
should I meet you at the palace or?
I will meet you at the what is it called?
The Naiad's Bargain.
The Naiad's Bargain.
He works at the
His
Marriage
place
Wager.
or the
No.
Naiad's place?
At his place. At
Okay,
the
Naiad's Wager, yeah.
Yeah, the Maya, yeah. I will meet you at the Naiad's Wager.
Or Marriage Wager, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will I look forward to it.
As do I. Have a nice night and get home safely.
Okay. So back to
You like see Jordan around the corner, like smirking.
So then we back to the present where Jury has pulled Abel to the side. Yeah.
Hey, look, I just really want to say I'm sorry for how I've been acting around you. I feel like you could have gathered why at this point, but just it's hard to say. I guess I'm just really jealous of you. You know, I wanted to carve my own path, and my family really didn't support me like that. So it's really petty for me to have acted the way I have. And I want to really apologize. So you don't have to accept it. I know I was being really shitty.
Honestly, you have nothing to apologize for. I completely understand the circumstance that you find yourself in. And as much as I respect how capable you are, I realize that this probably is not where you would prefer to be as far as your being tethered to the ticket takers as part of your punishment.
Oh, Abel. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
I will say I am happy that you are here with us. And I think that we are better for having you around. And hopefully some of that awkward energy can...
All right, let's wrap it. Here's a bag. I got 2 bag of holding. And I like called out a bag of holding to you.
Another bag of holding?
Look, I thought maybe you needed another one. I don't know. Here you go. Just take this one. Maybe you'd like one that had a demon in it, at one point. So
well, so eventually we will get the flaming skull out of the other bag of holding.
Maybe we can put magical stuff in this one together. Be like our doing magic together bag.
Now that you mentioned, there were a couple of projects that I think your expertise would be very helpful for me that I wanted to undertake. So
yeah, and I need you to open this arcanely locked bag that bitch Esper gave me. So
that can be our first project that we work on together.
Perfect. Sounds great. I like lock arms with you. And I was like, so what are you talking to Jaren about? So we like walk away. We're like going to catch up with the others.
It's the end of Casablanca. This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Now that we're together, spill that tea. Yes. Spill that tea.
I'm like, listen, Naira wear this like vest. I always start talking about this.
All right. So you all make your way back to Naad's Bargain to await the return of Marlowe, who has found their way with the princess to the Tower of Acumen, called the Athenaeum. And she there's not a pause in her step. There's guards that see her coming, and you just see she holds up a badge and waves it, but doesn't even wait for them to assume. She just tears through. And then she gets to gets through into the Acumen quarters, and she makes her way back to Anali's office. And Ogon is exiting the office because he had gone to meet Unali that evening. Malo, good news. You can sorry, Ogon's voice. Malo, you can. This is not Ogon's voice either. Fucking shit.
We do too many voices.
There's too many voices today. Yeah. Malo, you can tell Abel that the jury that the conversation with Unali went well. They're going to look into your Genasi friend.
Sick. Great. That's great.
Princess Alora, and she says, Alora just says, I don't have time right now, Ogon. And she just keeps making her way through and opens the door and doesn't even close it behind her. She just opens the door, and you hear just muffled voices in the room for a moment as you and Ogon are standing there. Is she all right?
What did they tell you when they sent Alora to Nuevia?
destined to marry the Prince Ficus, to raise her in the culture of Nuevia, so she would be a comfortable queen on that throne.
Okay. I have a lot of reason to believe that Yusef is Allora's true parent. So that's why that's happening right now. That was like 20 minutes ago. So
that bastard.
Yeah.
Well, tell the princess that Nuevias always protect their own.
I will do.
And he makes his way out. Do you follow the princess into Anali's, or are you giving her
permission? I mean, I guess I just shuffle in. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here. But...
so you hear, like, Anali is just saying, Princess, I told you in the sending. And Anali is this older half-orc woman with a shaved head on one side, kind of spiked hair off to the edge, very dressed like a high-ranking librarian, but muscular as shit and probably could kick your ass. Like, you know that the Acumen are trained warriors as well. And she's just princess. It is I told you in the sending the knowledge, of course, is that the king of Arcturus is your father. And the princess was like, Anali, I know that as absolute bullshit. I've read the secret writings of Yusef Erefan, and you were the only member of the Curia Regis who is still on the Curia Regis at the time. Unali steps back. I would just like you to know that I always wanted you to be on the throne. I do not have within me the power right now to move against Yusef Erefan. He is already working to remove the Acumen from their place of power. And the Acumen are the only thing that guard the people from the workings of the Curia Regis and the crown. The Acumen must maintain their position. I am so sorry, Allura. I cannot move to support you right now in this. And Allura just steps back. You're quite lucky that Marlo is here right now. And Allura turns and leaves the office.
I start backing up awkwardly. Like I feel very uncomfortable being here.
Marlo, one thing. Lenaria sends word to all supporters of ours. Volmir Rylis and Terrell Dimwala have both vacated the Violet Conclave.
Thank you.
There are 2 archmages on the loose at this time. And there are workings of darker means within the Curia Regis that you know of, I am aware. I do not mean to be cold, and I do not mean to show a lack of concern for the princess, but there are deeper concerns for us all.
I understand.
Thank you.
You protect your own, I'll protect mine.
She nods.
I leave.
Okay. All right.
Josh, who else besides Volmir?
I got it. Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Terrell Dimwala was the person that we were supposed to talk. Lenari told us to talk to at the ball because she
the Archon of Evocation.
Archon of Evocation.
Yep, the one who
I wrote it down.
was supposed to execute Rylis.
Yes. The one
Now, oh
to.
boy, I fucking wonder.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I actually wrote that one down.
Yeah.
Unless there's a conversation you want to have with Allura, it would be a very quiet.
I think I gotta leave. I think I've done enough damage to this woman tonight. I think I gotta go. Yeah.
She makes her way, and it's odd as you're walking back from the Acumen, from the Athenium, she stops at a beautiful mansion in the Prisma Quarter, and you see like a sigil above the gate into the mansion that looks like it has been recently attached, that wasn't added there when the building was constructed, and it's the seal and sigil of Noavia. And she just says, I don't think that I can go back to the palace tonight. I'm going to stay here.
Okay. Anything you need, you know how to get up with me.
I don't mean this to be rude, Mono, but I think you've done enough for the evening.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye.
Yeah. And so she goes into the embassy, basically. And then you make your way back to Nayad's Bargain, and you all coalesce back at the Nayad's Bargain. And once again, these disparate strands of the ticket takers have reconnected.
Emotional damage.
Yes.
When Mar comes in, I run up to her to hug her.
Oh, hi.
I'm just glad you're safe. I hug you.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that feels like it was a week ago.
A week ago.
Should we go to the room? Yeah. Should we go to the room? Talk about stuff?
Yeah. Sure.
Did you see the sign I wrote?
I did. I did see the sign when you were you at the park?
They were at the park. Of course, they were at the park.
Well done. You know what?
We could do anything about
that was
it.
a very clear message. I got exactly what was intended.
I think everyone got it.
He never said which park, though, so it could have been worse.
It was the park that was right there. The one park. The park
we were
where
in.
you were.
We're at the park,
right.
the park that we were in.
Are
That park.
you okay, Mar? You need a drink or anything?
I think I should say sober right now.
Oh, this is really bad. We gotta go to the fucking room. All right, come on, guys. I like get a drink though, and I'd be like, I'm taking this with me.
It's
so we get
not
to the room.
Nyroy's night. Nyroy's working day.
Oh.
I don't get a drink. I like go and I'm like, whatever.
Because Nyroy's taking
Yes,
off nights so that he's able and
switched.
ready for
You switch
the masquerade
shifts.
ball in a couple
Oh my
days.
god,
Mhm.
cute boy. I'm going
Boy, is he in for a surprise.
I'm going to once we get to the room, I'm gonna fucking paranoia style.
Cast a thing.
No, I can't do that. I haven't switched the attunement yet. So I'm just gonna search around. Nobody's listening. Nobody has messed with the room. Nobody's
perception
around.
Yep.
Can I help?
Since I noticed that
I get
Mara's so-
advantage for listening.
Roll an intelligence check, Abel. Yep.
since Marlo is so paranoid, I look as well.
Okay, you can both. Yep.
We're doing perception.
Yes.
I got a 23.
Okay.
19.
As far as you can tell, there's no, there's nobody around. The rooms next door to you are one is occupied, is one of the rooms that you guys have checked out. The other room seems to be empty.
Okay. Shut the door. Take blanket off the bed. Put by under the door. Shut the windows.
Abel,
put
what was your
blanket
intelligence
under.
roll?
22.
You're keenly aware that there are methods of people checking in on you that are not what Mar is concerned about.
Okay. So, would that awareness be the Jordan thing?
No, I mean, you know that people have an ability to spy that does not require their
Oh.
presence.
Yeah, you know what
Can I
spry
do
is.
this? One of the infusions that I created earlier in the day after my long rest was the Lantern of Revealing. So it will reveal anything invisible, anything or anyone that is invisible. So I'm going to...
Abel, I've never loved you more than I have in this moment.
I have. I was
have-
paralyzed
I just
and you
have to
dragged me out of a room.
Make a roll
What?
really quick. Okay.
It's the whole thing.
We were in the park.
They were.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
All right. So you pull
So-
out the lantern. What's it look
In
like?
theory, it's I don't know, don't make me.
I can describe what it looks like in D&D. I just didn't know if you wanted to create a different one.
An artificer thing. I don't know. It's just like a super cool look. I'll describe it later. I don't know.
Make it like an owl, right? Like
I'm not in the
yeah,
mindset.
little
owl.
Sure. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Be an owl, shaped like an owl, and then the eyes are where,
Bugs in the room.
where the light shines out. So I'll open the little lantern as wide as it'll go, and I'll set it up in a corner of the room where it can kind of wash as much of the room as possible in its light.
Okay.
So if there's anyone who's like scrying, anything like that.
And how long it does it for? How long? As long as it's open.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Currently, as the first wash across the room goes, there are no invisible orbs or anything that would imply that someone is scrying on your location.
Okay. Would I have to be worried about? It doesn't have a time limit. It just says.
Okay. I think it's just as long as the lens is open.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it says burns for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil.
Okay.
6 hours. Jeez Louise.
So for the
That's
next 6 hours.
Artificers are so cool.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so there. If anyone was scrying on us as we have our conversations, we would be able to see the scrying orb through the lantern's light.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Did you guys? Did that go well for you? Did you get what you
Define
needed?
well. We tell you what
Well,
happened.
that
Kamana
means that you
and
went
I
not
didn't do-
well.
Kaimana and I didn't do anything.
And I'm
We went to the
Great.
park.
great job.
True.
Remind me to buy you Northwick buns next time with that.
And
Tomorrow,
then,
I assume.
I go into detail and tell you what happened on our
Okay.
end.
Good try.
The
What
good
did
thing
you
is
find?
we got a lot of intelligence from the museum, so we know how.
And what did you
a lot
do
of this is
correctly?
true.
You didn't get caught.
We did not
And
get
that's
caught.
the
Not
important thing.
most
Now, what
of
I'm
them.
about to tell you, I need you to remember that as well. And
Completely
I will
open-minded.
recap, my experience in Yusef's office, and downplay the amount of danger I'm in, but I think I have to roll a deception check because Mara's in a
Yes,
great
please.
liar.
What do we roll against that? Insight?
Insight.
Fucking
If anybody
dude,
wants to roll insight.
your passive insight is gonna get it. I mean, I rolled
Yeah.
a 4.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
no. I rolled a 19 on insight. So
for
this is like,
anyone whose insight's above a 4, which I believe is literally everyone in the room, you can.
I feel like as
tell-
Mara is telling the story, Anansi's like interrupting telepathically, like, no, actually,
Anansi's shaking his little head.
the explosion was huge.
No.
She burned her hand. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You can all tell that Marlowe is leaving out details, whether or not they're key details or not. Yeah.
It sounds like you should have gone to the park.
I would have much rather been at the park. I mean, like, yeah.
The park was nice.
Correct.
Like you said, the important thing is you did not get caught. So
Didn't get caught. He definitely knows someone was there, but can't prove it was me.
I mean, the important thing is you're safe. I don't give a shit what you found in there, but you're safe.
absolutely, yes.
That's very nice. You will care.
Oh, I don't like that.
So, let's see where to start. The Radiant Legion is prepped for war. Let's see.
Oh, that's not good.
No, yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's
They're
bad.
gonna deploy people in the Tranquil Bay, so they're ready for naval war. Your dad's ready for airship battle. Your dad's prepped for war. He gets his name dropped at one point. So they're ready on.
Jordan, you would know that one of your father's, like before you left, one of your dad's like things with the construction of airships out of Cindervale was that technically every airship that left Cindervale, while considered a gift to the crown, still maintained ownership of the halls of origination. So technically Warren Windsor is in charge of every crown airship that exists, and he calls it the Aeolian Flight.
Fuck. I tell you guys this.
Yeah.
So yes, they are ready to win any conflict in land, sea, or air. What else is there?
Anything we can use to bring Yusef down?
Well, yeah, they want to kill Thornton Braid.
Oh, great.
But the language is, if I say this and you didn't know that Yusef and Dane are the worst people alive, listen to this, okay? Would it not behoove the council to allow Braid to slip into a peaceful retirement before being unceremoniously removed in disgrace, his failures exposed to the world, and then talking about how Hawk would be a much better replacement?
That sounds right.
Peaceful retirement means one thing.
Right. So, yeah, I've got that written from Dane to Yusef. Pretty bad. Hawk is specifically a Yusef pull, because Armon wrote to him and was like, "Oh, the Hawk, like you better get Hawk together. That better work out."
So we have proof Aramon to Yusef then?
Well, it says the king.
Oh.
Also, weirdly enough, because he calls Yusef the bishop, right? And this,
Sure.
But he talks about how every devil in Alyria is a threat, and the reports of devil activity in the Riverlands and Feldspar are really concerning to him, which is insane because the Tidewaters, the Queen, Valaria Highwand, made that pact with the devil. So that makes me think Armon doesn't fucking know about that.
Interesting.
So that's something to put in our back pocket.
Okay.
Yusef wants to build Arafania. I laugh as I say it out loud. And I describe that basically he's trying to get his own patrician manor built because he's been trying to be a patrician for years now, and it's never been signed. But it would be named Arafania, and that's extremely important to them.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to get into this again, but I will recap everything I told you with Alyria. And
what?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then I'll read you the part where Yusef's. I'll read this. Actually, I'll just read this out loud from Yusef's little writings. His edicts and threats are going more wild and fearful. One who plays the role of king should not fear the things that go bump in the night. I forgot my accent. His deposition of the rightful king and his swift supposition of my own ascension to that position of power are not forgotten. I hold my rightful peace in the heart of flames, and one day it will sit proudly where it should, and this weak, fearful wormling will know that even a common man can fell a dragon.
Wow.
He thinks he can kill.
Read that last part again about something in the flames.
Oh, I hold my rightful peace in the heart of the flames, and I refer to the old a priori king piece that was hidden behind the fireplace. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yusef thinks he is the rightful.
He wants to usurp Aramon.
Yeah, he thinks he's the literal king of everything.
Yes.
How do we take him down?
Which of these letters would be most damning if they made their way to public print? Obviously, we are not going to expose Alyria and the circumstances of her birth.
Unless she lets us.
Where is she now?
She's staying at, I say where she's staying, I forgot.
She's at
the
the Nuevian embassy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would put Renly in a lot of danger if we made that public, though. Would it not?
It absolutely would.
They're all in danger.
Yeah.
Why does it matter who her dad is?
Well, in royal bloodlines, it matters who your parents are because that determines whether or not you're going to have power and influence.
Why?
Because it's stupid. Come on, it's stupid.
It's the best way to describe it. Yes,
it's
a stupid thing that stupid humans do.
You know, it's like your parents pass you down things, and in this case, they believe these things are passed down.
Marlo, you would look at that journal and recognize that the second journal entry is probably the most damning if you want to expose Yusef without potentially damning Alyria.
The one from Kratos Hawk?
No, the second journal entry, the date 17 years in the past.
What's about the one that talks about him becoming the new king, or he claimed the position of the king, and he's not going to let Aruman's return stop him?
Yeah.
Is that worded in a way that it would be obvious of his...
It drops a lot of things about a dragon. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I've got a lot here. We also have, I mean...
Is that the one you were talking about, DM? I don't want to...
No. Okay, so I have 3 diary entries from Yusef. And one is the one that I read you about him. It's from last week where he was like, Armon's lame. I could replace him. Then I have one from 30 years in the past where he's talking about how in love, he's at school. And he's talking about how in love he is with Floria. And, but he can't date her because he's a commoner. And Arcturus, the king, assures me that once he rises to his own destined station, he will bring me to greater heights as well, and perhaps then ... And then 17 years in the past, which right after Renly was born, he talks about how Floria's just died, and he blames Renly and Arcturus for this. Okay, so with the birth of the second-born, Floria Bellinor is no more. Arcturus promised me the height of power, but has brought me nothing but the depths of despair. This so-called heir to the throne, this Renly, ripped from the body of the woman who has for now my whole adult life held my heart in her very hands, shall not feel the warmth of my goodwill. If Arcturus was to give me power, it's time I learned to wield it for myself and not for the hope of a fruitless future. So one, he literally talks about how he refused to help Renly as the king, and he is the hand to the king. And 2, he for sure killed Arcturus. Like, I know that's not written right there, but like,
yeah,
that is enough to at least get the public talking, and that can be extremely bad.
Make a history check.
Okay.
That and the information about starting the war, where that's
13.
been pressed so that they're don't believe any claims that Nuevia is starting this. Here is documentation where they've been plotting this for.
Yes.
They're plotting to kill Anavarian. Basically, you're planning to kill your children and the army to fight their war that they're staging on false principles.
I concur that Hawk is the type of voice that the people of Alyria would respect in times of turmoil. I'm uncertain of the images a sickly and ailing Nuevian at a seat of power would deliver such an equally comforting visage. Written from Dane to Yusef.
These are disgusting people.
All right, what is the history check again?
Yeah. So, Jury, it's hard for you to quite remember, but 17 years ago or so, you remember there being a lot of turmoil in the home after the death of the king. And you may have overheard conversations that the king was a healthy man, well trained, prepared. I mean, like he would prepare for battle, basically. Like he would train with the Radiant Legion type person, but suddenly came down with a sickness that no one could quite understand what the origins of it were. And it was very sudden. And over the course of a week, he wasted away and died quite suddenly.
Yeah, I tell them this.
Yeah.
Can we just, in addition to publishing all of this, go take down Yusef personally?
Source, let me explain something to you. Here's the thing, though. When you reveal every card in your hand, you have no cards left for yourself. The thing is,
we revealed the cards.
No, you're saying to reveal the cards. Let me explain. So the thing is, who at this point would want to smite down Yusef, and Yusef has no thing against him now? Ahriman? Because we've taken the one thing he had as his peace. And now we have the thing that he thought could smite Ahriman.
He also was keeping a stone of the subversion from Ahriman, knowing very well that, and was supposed to be helping Ahriman recover those.
And we know he's.
And also, we have in writing him calling him a weak, fearful wormling. Sorry, that's bad for him.
Yes, but my concern is that Yusef, in desperation to remain in power, might do something to Renly and or Alora before Ahriman could do something to him. If we can at least drive him from the palace and get that information out to Ahriman, then he won't have a safe place anywhere in the world. So we don't have to kill him, per se, but we do have to drive him from the palace.
Look,
I think these letters being exposed will do just that. I believe if we were to move without this information being public, they could...
Oh, no, I'm saying we put it public and do this other stuff.
Yes. I think once it is public, we can make whatever moves we want against him. My concern is without this information being known, our connection to the princess could be spun as her sending us as her attack dogs to attack the king regent so she can gain power in Alyria over her brother, perhaps.
Yeah, no, we should
Somehow
go
they will spin it.
publish this to the publishers tonight. We should go right now.
That's
Because
not
also-
but it's not our information to give, Source. This
we
affects
don't have-
Alyria deeply.
We don't have to tell the stuff about Alora's parentage.
Yes,
And
I agree.
Also, Yusef is going to put one and one together, and we may not even want to stay here at this inn tonight because everyone knows where we are, because we're the most likely ones to have done something, because we're the ones who've been poking our nose in everyone's business. So we might want to...
I have everything on him right now, and he knows that.
Right, and so if you
These
were
are
to
his
suddenly
deepest,
disappear...
darkest secrets.
He knows that someone has the information. Not necessarily that
He doesn't know that it's us. He has no way to prove that it's us. And he can't go to Daddy for help on this one.
Oh,
No.
I hate
But I could see this...
You know what I
inn
mean?
suddenly-
I know what you meant.
this inn burning down along with everyone and everything in it.
That
It
could be
makes
said
a
of anyone.
spectacle. This man works from the shadows. I don't think that's his move.
The problem is if we
I agree.
reveal at any point he could reveal his connection to Allura too and then take Bellinor out himself.
All we need to do is buy time. We don't need to show everything. All we need to do is waste the Curia Regis's time. Even if they manage to get this covered up and they manage to buy off the press or get people back on their side, we need them distracted so we can go.
Sure.
That's
So how
what
do
we
we do
need.
So how do we do it?
We just leak one of these things.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
one. Apart.
I would say leak two. Leak the one about Yusef not being hating Renly, and then leak the one about Thornton Brain being replaced as the head of the Curia, as the head of the Radiant Legion, with the Radiant Legion being prepared to wage
Is
war.
that the same one
Wait-
that calls
wait a
into
minute.
question?
Why would I leak it to? Why don't we just send it to Braid anonymously?
So we send
Make
that one
them
to Braid,
confront it.
send that one to Braid, and then link the one about Yusef to the press. And we're attacking from two sides. That makes a lot of sense.
Sounds good to me. I mean,
Sure.
then he's dealing. If Braid sees it for himself in Uriel Dane's own handwriting, that's a lot more damning.
Yes, I agree. I think that's and we attack it from two sides.
Yes.
How does everyone else feel?
Because Uriel would still be in power even if the thing for Yusef came out. But even if Yusef's removed, it still leaves Uriel and Thor and what's his name, the dumb one.
Oh,
Um,
Darkon.
Darkon.
Yeah, no,
God,
not
I was
Darkon.
forgetting he's on the fucking council.
No,
No,
the one who has the museum we were just at.
Tarlo, yeah.
that's
Carla.
Carla
There's
Whistleton.
There's a lot of dumb ones.
That's
Um,
Whistleton.
But that
So
would still
all we
leave-
need is infighting, because right now Braid will just vote whatever they
It's
want
true.
him to vote.
The biggest thing we have against the patricianers
If
is
we have them
inner
at a,
turmoil.
if we have them truly with Unali, Lunaria, and Braid fighting back against them, it will buy us time. It's not enough, but it's something.
And we have to make sure the prince doesn't get poisoned the same way. assuming it's some kind of.
Is my father in? No, he left the palace, right?
Oh, I will
He's
mention
at the embassy.
what Oguan told me, one, about the conversation with Unali, and two, that he was unaware about this, because I don't want anyone thinking that he knew the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he said that obviously, like, Nuevia still stands with her, and all that good stuff.
How do we get the thing to Thornton?
Do they have? Wait. Oh, I mean, he has a house. He's a patrician. He has a house here, right?
He's not
he
a
has
patrician.
right. Where does he live?
He would be in the. Let me give you the actual place. Well, so it's in the Palisade, which is the military or Radiant Legion district of Anarvir. It's kind of south of the foot of the palace. So you could get it to him that way. I mean, safe couriers would be like a pseudo dragon, because they're very like they only give it to the person that they're supposed to give it to.
Okay. Do they just fly around the city, or you got to go?
How do we?
There's booths around the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they
But
untraceable?
They probably do not. Oh, the pseudo dragons. This hasn't come up yet. And this isn't anything that you like. Jury would know this. The pseudo dragons are their own union, and they and they do they're not owned or work for anybody else. It's their own thing, and they're like one of the most trusted courier services, because literally, like, once you pay them to deliver the message, they will only deliver messages to the person that they're supposed to deliver it to, and then that person has to pay them a delivery fee as well. And so they're generally trusted as an incredibly secure delivery method.
Oh, pseudo
dragons is like maybe
best thing I've ever heard.
Things you've ever done.
Best thing I've ever heard.
This reminds me of the Guild of Postal and the weekly roll.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so we deliver it to them. And
so the one thing
you would also know, Jury, that they would not be open right now, so you'd have to wait till the morning. Yeah.
That's fine. Even better. You know when that leaks then? Right
During
before
the
the king's
parade.
birthday. That's great for us.
Good gossip.
That would work perfectly, actually. So in the morning, we have the letters delivered, one to the post and one to Braid, respectively.
I think we should deliver the post ones ourselves.
Oh no!
Tonight, so that it could be printed up.
No,
and
they won't be there. I mean, I assume Josh. We know.
We can wake them up.
Yeah, I mean, like
for something like this.
You don't want already printed tomorrow's post, but yeah.
I don't know if we go in person and are seen, then it's very obvious.
That's my concern. Is
what the
I point to my hat of disguise, which, by the way, I have decided, because I don't know I have never known what it looked like.
Sure.
When it's not operational, I've decided it's a fez. Because the fez is
yes, that works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically I can use this to deliver it tonight, because if I'm in the press and I get something this hot, I'm throwing out what I had. I'm printing these for the rest of the evening and getting them out first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mom?
I think just I'm going to throw this out here. The closer we can leak this to the king's birthday and make this all blow up at the same time, gives us a lot of room to run around without people looking directly at us.
I mean, I know it's been a couple weeks, but also all of you know that Laura wants to have a letter that gets published around the same time to explain her leaving the kingdom.
Yeah, we can put that with it. Be like a whole thing, because that's juicy.
We don't even necessarily need to tell them if she's got a really good letter, unless whatever info we want to back her up with, or she wants us to back up with.
But it's probably better to set the fire as close to us leaving as possible. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Just leave the entire city in flames. It's fine, guys.
You know what? I never liked this city anyway.
I also dropped that Volmir Rylus and the other one are gone.
Yeah,
And
Volmir
out on the
and Tara,
on the loose.
Right.
I am convinced that Volmir is Victor.
Absolutely.
The age-old TV trope and comic trope of the person coming back as their quote-unquote son, like the Darkling.
I think he really had a son. I don't think the Volmir Rylus that returned to the capital was the real Volmir
His real
Rylus.
son is in a dungeon somewhere or locked up or something like that, but he's impersonating his son. Who
That or he's done a very excellent job of convincing his son to get on board with us, but I have a suspicion that he likes to run around in the open under people's noses.
Wait, was the other archmage that left, what was their specialty again?
Evocation.
So Alyria doesn't have one, but like the way that Noavia does, they have a war mage who manages warfare from the magical front. In the Violet Conclave, that would be the role of the Mage of Evocation.
You know, what we could do is send the thing in the morning to Thornton, get with Alora to let her know that what we're going to put in the press, and get her letter so that we can deliver both of them.
I don't necessarily want to tell Alora what to do right now. You guys can. It's a personal thing. I think I did just ruin her life.
We should at least give her a night to think about
I want to give her time.
There's no way I'm going to leave Alora by herself. If she does not want me to be there, that's fine. But I'm going tonight to go and check on her and see how she is.
I think that's a good idea.
I think you would be the one person she'd want to see.
Yeah. And if you could let her know, because that way, if she has a strenuous objection to us doing it, we don't ruin her life further.
So we can check with her in the morning.
Jury, you're keeping a very close eye on the room, and you know.
Yes, I am.
Flashing orb appear in the corner.
I hold my hand up. And so Abel is going on a date with Jaren, and I'm taking Nairoy to the King's Ball. That's so cool, right?
And Marlo and I have the fight tonight that we probably should be getting to fairly soon.
Oh, shit.
You want to do that?
I would love to punch something right now.
Yep, you could probably.
I thought you would.
Could probably pay her off if you really wanted to get out of it. But
we shouldn't be talking about the fight.
It drifts slowly around the room. You can tell it's centered. It's hard to tell who it's centered around because you're all kind of clumped together, but it drifts slowly around the room.
Here's the question.
Wait,
Josh,
can we all like? Can I make a hand motion to be like split out, like see who is it on?
Oh, okay, go ahead. I messaged you. Well, okay, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, that was my whole thing. Is I was just kind of gonna see if I could suddenly be like, do we want to see who this is centered on, or are we gonna not do that?
And
okay.
Josh, because I have the thing against scrying on, can it see or hear me?
So somebody cannot scry on you, but if they're scrying on someone near you, then there's a chance they could still hear you. Yeah.
I will
start... I mean, you definitely know it's not somebody scrying directly on Saurus.
Yeah. I will move away to kind of like get my my sword and shit together for this like fight and see if it moves on me.
No, it does not.
Excellent.
Abel would know well enough to know that typically speaking with scry, there's a wisdom saving throw that's required, or like you have the ability to resist it.
Yeah.
The fact that I asked none of you to do that, probably this is Abel's mother.
Oh, cute.
Oh, I said the date thing right in front of her shit.
That's a great bit of distraction, though. That is a great bit of distraction.
Oh, it was. It was good.
Why would she scry without?
She's been scrying on you.
She's a mom.
She's a helicopter parent.
She is. Do you remember when Jerry said I'm so jealous
going down?
And so we have great plans this week to be productive members of society.
Yeah, you guys talking about the fight club we're going to be in.
No, you're not going to that. You're going
Abel,
to go
we would
hang
never
out with your friends.
It fades. The spell fades. Yeah.
Is
that to pay off the casino lady that Abel made mad?
Oh, Yeah, Jared,
No,
you
no.
guys didn't ask Jared about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it was fine. He didn't mention it, so it must have been enough.
Wait, what happened? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What happened?
Paying off the casino lady.
Yeah, when we haven't heard back on if the info that we got about Dane was enough, but I'm assuming since we haven't heard that it wasn't, it's probably good.
And if not, you have this letter from Dane to add to the pile if you need it.
Oh yeah,
it's
I have really
true.
funny shit on Dane. I forgot. Oh,
Jesus,
but I
man,
want to
what
give
is-
that to Thornton
Yeah.
really badly.
No, that's
but unless.
Well, I have some stuff to do tonight while you fight. If we could, unless you want to try to pay the lady off and not do it.
Source, do you wanna go fight?
I think I want to fight.
I think I want to fight.
Okay.
Kaimana, will you accompany me with my business?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take
We're going to be split the party, Josh.
Hey, split the party again. We'll
We
take
just they split.
a quick 5, just because we probably won't get through the whole fight tonight, but we'll set it up. So I need to set things up on my end. So go ahead and take a quick 5, and then I need Abel to pull up Naveen's character sheet that you updated for level 8 or level 9 or whatever.
Yeah, I got that. I got
I'll
that.
pull up, and I'll pull
Are
up,
you gonna play as Naveen?
and I'll pull up Twine.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god! I love it.
All right, so
All right.
we'll be back in quick 5.
Thank you, Five.
Thanks, Five.
Thank you, 5.
All right, so welcome back. So before we pass on over to the Wine Cellar, Juridan and Kaimana, so you two head off. What are you up to?
I take Kaimana's little hand and I'm like, I'm having a real hard day, Kaimana. He's so small. It takes a lot. And I'm like, hey, I really thought about what I want to get tattooed for a while. So if you'd come with me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. And so I'll go to the tattoo shop with Kaimana.
Sweet. What are you getting?
So when we get to the shop, Jordan explains what they want, which is 2 like golden branches on the side of their head with the wisteria plants hanging off of them. And so to get it, they have to like shave their head as well. So, and they asked Lennox, I think it's Lennox is the name.
Lennox.
They asked Lennox if they can do that part themselves.
Okay, he allows that, of course.
I'll stand with Kaimana. And I basically tell you about the last time I did this, which is when I left the Bard College to join Vox Populi.
Oh.
And,
Leaving home can be tough sometimes.
yeah. Do you miss your family?
Yeah, sometimes. I didn't really mean to leave home.
What do you mean?
Like the current was kind of strong.
You got washed away?
Yeah, it was. I kind of didn't notice at first, but
Did you take a nap? Is that what?
okay, you're making it sound like I was stupid.
No, I just did. Seems like a long way to be swept away.
Well, I didn't mean for it to happen. Like it was low tide when I pulled the canoe up, and I was tired from paddling, so I went to sleep in the canoe.
Okay, so you did take a nap. Okay.
I just, you made it sound like I was sleeping on the water, and I was not. I was sleeping on land.
Okay.
And then I woke up, and I didn't know where I was.
Have you been back since?
No.
Oh, so this will be your first homecoming in a while too.
Yeah, if we can find a way back easy enough.
If you want to see your family, we'll make time.
Yeah,
I promise.
I do. That lady was being mean, so I want to.
What lady? I will stab her. I mean, perfectly reasonable human thing that they would say.
You're about to get stabbed a lot.
That's true. I might need to hold your hand.
Okay.
And then I'm like, can you leave me for 1 second? I'm gonna cast sending. And I'm gonna try to contact my mom.
Okay.
And see if it goes through. And it basically just says, hey, I go by Jordan now, but I think you know who this is. I don't know why you left, but I'm getting a better idea. And if you're still in Nuevia, I might meet you there if you're willing to see me.
Yeah. It's late at night, but there's a short kind of pause, and then the return comes. My beautiful flower. It sounds like you have bloomed quite. I cannot wait to see you, Jerry. I've missed you so.
I scoop up Kaimana.
I wasn't there, so like just like.
No, I throw open the door and grab you. I'm going to see my family too, and then I'm like, okay, time to give you in pain for like 5 hours.
All right. So we cut across town to the wine cellar, where you all are already prepped and in the the ready chamber. Just as a reminder for the way this goes, once you get out into the zone, there will be a kind of 3-round period where you can do any prep you'd like to do before the actual fight begins. While Kyrin is doing the announcements, since Naveen is actually in the fight, so she's doing them. So you go out first. Naveen,
could I have retroactively asked someone to heal me from all my fucking fire damage?
Yeah,
I could have healed you. Here.
Okay.
Be healed.
Yeah. So Naveen and Twine are home field, so they get to place themselves first. I've already placed Twine where he wants to be.
Twine.
Where would you like Naveen?
I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I was looking at my spells. Naveen will. Sure, I will take the. I'll actually, Naveen will hide.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Just hide him somewhere.
Okay. So go ahead and make just a stealth check for Naveen to see how well hidden you are. With advantage.
Before we go out on the.
Oh, go ahead.
Before we go out on the floor, I want to, when we're queuing up, just want to say a few words with Marlo.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. So you can make your stealth check with advantage, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. So you can go ahead, Source.
32.
32.
Basically,
and he's got the cloak.
Yep.
Says to Marlo something to the fact that I trust you implicitly. So with the stuff going on, if you make a call, I will back it, even if I don't agree with it, because you seem to have a better grasp on this than anyone else, and I trust you. I also trust you if something were to happen to me, I know that you'll take down the bishop/king, and I appreciate that. And we need to protect the innocents in Abel and Kaimana.
They are the innocents.
And that's
Mar just kind of is speechless for a second, and then just very pulls you in for a hug and pets you on the back, and then walks away.
All right.
So, which one do we attack first? Do we each take one, or do we gang up on one?
If we gang up on one, they're probably just going to come around the other side. But I do like the idea of just kind of ganging up on one.
Okay.
Maybe try to get the. Maybe not that far down. I mean, do we know anything about these two? How they fight? Actually,
you've watched Twine fight. He fights with a bow and arrow. That's kind of all you know.
Okay.
If he shoots an arrow at me, I can do something about that. There's also something I can try that may not work, but
I love trying things.
Basically, with the shadow tethers, I can try and pop one of them into the Shadowlands for a few rounds.
Oh God!
It won't last long, but it would let us fight just one, and then when they come back,
well, I don't want you to pull more. You know how morally I feel about those, but that's your call.
That's why I'm bringing this up.
If you want to do that,
it would only be one strand, and I have no guarantees that it would work.
If you feel comfortable trying it, then I trust you on that. I say maybe let's go for the melee one first.
Okay.
Tag team him.
Sounds good.
Make sure he can't get away from us.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. So, where would you all like to be placed on the map as we zoom a little bit? Where would you all like to be? So we got Twine and Naveen in this zone.
Where are you thinking, Saurus?
I have enough movement to get to anyone from anywhere.
Oh yeah, you can get anywhere.
Put me to the left more, Josh. Kind of towards the open space. Yeah. Good. I'll run around behind.
Starting behind that rock that's closer to the guys. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Because I have room to run around the other side of that, right?
Yep.
The one closer to the ring. Okay.
All right, so we'll go ahead and roll our initiatives before the 3 rounds of prep time start.
What was the high score? That
32.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to top that.
9th level rogue there.
19.
Okay. Where's Twine? All right, 19 for Mark. Twine rolled a 25.
Jesus fucking Christ, this is going to be the fight, huh?
Dirty 20.
Okay, so what did Naveen roll? You're muted.
Sorry, 26.
26. So Naveen first, then Twine, then Saurus, then Marlo. All right. Okay, so first round of prep. You watch Twine as he pulls out his bone bow, and he runs his finger along the strings, and you watch as this greenish energy traces down the string, and then he notches an arrow at it, and he just looks at all of you. It's such a good thing to see you all again. I really have enjoyed meeting you all. All right, that's Twine's first round. What else? What other bonuses are we doing at the first round of prep?
Oh, we get a free round?
You get 3 free rounds of prep before the fight starts.
Oh, can I hex somebody?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to bonus action hex. I think I get a free hex without any spell slot.
You do.
Yep, I get a free hex, 1 free hex because of my thing. So I'm going to... God, I hate rats. I'm going to hex
Blasphemy.
Oh, those are fighting words.
So, Saurus, you watch as like all the shadows around you like cling to you for a moment and like throw up against your white fur as the well-dressed Naveen kind of points in your direction. All right. What else?
I just put my rapier at him and kind of swish it through the air, and then you see like the hex energy sort of surround him.
I am going to use my, for the first time ever, my Sash of the Four Winds.
Ooh!
And I'm going to cast Fog Cloud, which is a 20-foot sphere centered on the rock which Marlo is hiding behind, so they can't see her to cast anything on her.
So okay, good. So that'll get
nice.
So it won't. It won't like go over to Twine and Naveen, but it will completely get Marlo.
Good. I don't want that rogue to have no cover.
Marlo is hidden. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Hat down, scarf up, wolf.
Whoop. Yep.
Holy shit.
All right.
Do we know she's a wolf from the last fight?
Yes. Round 2 of prep. Anything you want to do? So I assume, Marlo, you're activating your Crimson Right.
Yep. So I'm going to go take my damage. Okay. I take 3 points of damage.
At the same time, Twine kind of looks and goes, well, I guess it's you. And he points at you, Saurus, and you just feel like this like energy like you've been keyed in on by Twine.
Okay.
What is that?
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark.
The Hunter's Mark.
Oh. Wow. Can I add Naveen to the campaign? I'm sorry.
No.
You're stuck with.
So you can see his gold.
I'll also, I guess in the next round, make sure my winged boots are activated.
Okay. That's your 3 rounds. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
I guess. Dude, I don't know. I don't have like really prep stuff except for a hex.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, don't prep anything. Don't worry about it.
No, well, I guess. Well,
I'm kidding.
seeing that the giant rat, his no, I'm just gonna hold position.
Okay. All right. The last thing that happens, as Corinne's been talking this whole time, she goes, and just for all of you returning ones who have watched, oh, sorry, this is not Corinne's voice. And for all you returning people who have seen the incredible duo of Naveen and Twine fight before, you of course know that their fights take place in the dark. So all the lights go out. Even the I'm not gonna mess with them, but even the flickering lights above the wine cellar go out. And even Marlowe, you have dark vision. You cannot see Twine. He disappears.
I have superior dark vision.
So the reading of the Gloomstalker ability is that as long as Twine remains in dim light or low light or darkness, he is specifically invisible to people with dark vision.
Yeah.
Now, when he moves or takes action, you can pinpoint his location. But as far as knowing where Twine is right now, you cannot see him.
If that's the case, can I say that I prepped by having Honeybee the owl, my familiar, come and
that could be your third. Yep.
Yeah, I want him to kind of like perch on my shoulder so I can utilize his dark vision and his because I don't think I have dark vision.
No, you have dark goggles. You have goggles.
Do I?
Yep.
Are you a half elf?
I'm a half elf. Do they get dark vision?
Yeah. I got dark vision.
There's Honeybee. Okay.
Never mind. Sorry then. I don't. Well, yeah, you can. Honeybee's. I'm just gonna say he's perched on one of the little columns for now, I guess.
Okay. So then, so once the lights go out, you can hear the audience like rumbling and like building up and shouting like Twine, Naveen, Twine and Naveen, Twine and Naveen, Twine and Naveen, and then Corinne goes, "Let's begin." Naveen, it's to you.
All right. How much movement do I have? Can I reach the rat?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess I should tell you how much movement I have. So
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
Maybe he goes with you because he's on your shoulder.
Well, no, I want to leave him up on a little ledge for me. I might use him later. So yes, I'm going to, with my rapier, I'm going to activate Booming Blade. So you see like this quaking, like thunderous energy surround my rapier's blade. And I'm going to strike out at, hold on, wait, let me think. How do I get sneak attack? Sneak attack is...
You get it because you're a swashbuckler and he's the only enemy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Does he get sneak attack on me?
Yeah, so swashbucklers, if they're alone with an enemy, get sneak attack.
You remember Libra? Libra's swashbuckling.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying not to metagame, but I was like, we're not leaving that fucker alone.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to strike out with my rapier. That is a 26 to hit.
Yes, that does.
Okay, so wait a minute. All right, so that is
stupid.
rapier damage.
Yeah.
Wait, can Naveen be in the campaign?
I rolled
But then you have to get Corinne, so
yeah,
you know
it's a trade-off.
Oh,
no, thanks.
10 rapier damage, and then a d6 from the hex because you're hexed. 3 hex damage, and then sneak attack. Hallelujah. I have to find the buttons to press them. And 16 sneak attack damage.
So that's 29 altogether?
29 altogether.
Ooh.
Okay, and then
this is gonna be rough.
I want to bonus action. Can I like run or something? Bonus action?
You can.
How come it's not listed on my
You can dash, disengage, or hide.
Yep.
dash, disengage, or hide? I want to dash as a bonus action towards
attack of opportunity.
You cannot make an opportunity attack against me
He has a
because
very similar ability to you, Saurus, in that he avoids attacks of opportunity when he moves away from somebody he's just hit.
as long as I'm
Does it
engaged.
avoid or does it get or
I think
disadvantage?
does it say that you? What's the exemption? wording of
let me
this
read it
ability?
exactly.
I think
Class features,
I mean,
fancy footwork.
Fancy footwork, yeah.
During your turn, if you make a melee attack against the creature, that creature cannot make opportunity
Cannot
attacks
make
against you
opportunity attacks,
for the rest of your turn.
swashbucklers are so broken. I love them.
So you want to charge into the fog cloud?
Yes,
you can't
near the
see. Yeah, your vision goes.
Yeah.
away.
Yep, I just want to make sure the rat can't see me.
Okay, so you vanish into the fog cloud, and you don't bump into Marlowe, but you're getting close.
Yeah, I don't want to go all the way in, just like
You don't know where I
half of
am.
my movement in there,
Yep.
like 15 feet in or so. It's not too far. And yeah, that's it. That's what I'll do. That's what
Okay.
I'll do.
Twine on his first round, he's gonna kind of he looks in your direction, Saurus, and on Gloomstalker's first round of action, they get to take 2 attacks with their bow. So he's gonna.
I'm gonna say Gloomstalker and Swashbuckler is kind of like the worst combination I could
So
think of.
bad.
But since he has multi-attack, the first attack, 24 to hit, Saurus.
Yes.
Okay, and then the second one is actually with the spell that he had pre-activated because he's making an attack. So this is Ensnaring Strike. So you need to make a strength saving throw as this one comes through. If it hits you, hold on a sec. Where did my button go? I hate the mobile app version of this. There it goes. 31 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second one, Ensnaring Strike, hits you. So go ahead and make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Well, that's good. Strength 22.
Okay, then the spell does not take effect. From the 2 bolts, you take.
Wait. What? Roll the first one.
The first one is 8 points of damage.
Okay. I am going to use my deflect missile.
Okay.
Reduce damage by 1d10 plus 5 plus 8, and I rolled a 9, so that's 22. So if damage 0, the missile is caught, I can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack with proficiency.
Okay, go ahead. And
Hell
So
yeah.
I fling it back at him.
Okay,
There we go. There we go.
so go ahead and make your damage roll on that.
See, like,
Damage roll or attack roll?
Make the attack roll, yeah.
Can you imagine being a human and being like, holy shit, yeah, I'm seeing like the people who own this fight tonight, and then they turn out all the lights and you're like, oh.
They have like 3D. Do they have like 3D glasses for the crowd where they can like see?
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sure they charge for those.
yeah.
Source
Corinne
attacks at
starts that.
disadvantage because you cannot see Twine, but you can do a disadvantage.
Still 22.
Okay, awesome. Then roll
So off.
damage.
Okay, what is the damage on that bolt?
It's a D8 plus
Okay.
your attack bonus damage.
with proficiency, right?
That is 7 plus 5, so that's 12.
12 points of damage. Nice. All right. That's not how that works. 12. Apply. Thank you. All right. The second one did 14.
Okay.
All right. And then Twine's going to move. You can't really see where he's moving to, but he's going to flip it.
I thought you said we could see him when he moves.
So it gives you advantage, or it gives you not disadvantage on perceiving him. Whereas normally with invisible, you would be disadvantaged to perceive him. So
Okay.
perceiving his, like, so if you,
Just a straight
if
roll?
you're, it would be just straight roll and perceiving where Twine is.
Okay.
All right, and that takes us to Marlo.
Okay.
I thought I went.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
Source
sorry,
first.
sorry,
It's
yeah.
for sure Source first.
I'm going to perception to see if I can spot Twine.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, Twine.
7 plus 5. So that's 12.
Yes, because I rolled a 6.
Okay. I'm going to go up to Twine
Okay.
and I'm going to
Beat the
pull a tether to pop him into the netherworld.
Okay, it's 2 to teleport, and you've never done this
Oh,
before.
wait.
So
I'm not going with him. I'm just sending him.
yeah, so it's 2 for the teleport.
That's fine.
You've never done it before, so go ahead and make a wisdom check for me, please.
Wait, since I did Booming Blade, if he moves,
this is a shadow thing, so I get to use my shadow dice for the first time.
since I did Booming Blade, if he moves, he does
take damage.
Thunder damage.
Enemy opportunity attacks. Would that be considered?
No, it's the spell that he hit you with in the first round.
Okay, so for this, it would be my roll plus my wisdom.
Yes.
Is this what you said? Wisdom saving throw or wisdom check?
Just a wisdom check. Yeah.
That would be 19.
19. Okay,
Nice.
so you pull 2 tethers. You have 3 now. Roll a d10 for me, and then let's see Twine's saving throw. Nope, Twine failed. So Twine
8.
pops out.
Bye, bitch.
8, you said?
Yes.
Okay, you're good. Just remind me at the end of each of your turns. We'll do that.
Okay, and I'm going to then follow into the fog until I literally run into the what's his name?
Okay, so you just
Naveen.
run straight through. You crash into Naveen there. Yep.
Yeah. And then I am going to bonus round flurry of blows.
All right. Go ahead and make your 2 attacks.
First attack is a natural 1. That's not going to hit. 16 plus 8, so 24.
24 against Abel or against Naveen.
Yep.
That
And
You're muted.
you're muted. Running.
and
Sorry, hold on. I was trying to read my abilities because I'm still not good with this character.
If he has a reaction, that would be the only thing you've got there.
Hold on. Let me get back on
I don't think
Naveen.
that he has parry.
Okay, Naveen. 24 to hit. Where are my spells? I'm going to. Should I do it? Shield.
There goes one of 2 spell slots.
Yep.
All right, so the second attack
Is that-
hits a shield that you're very familiar with, Soros. You've hit them before from casters.
yeah, is the shield an automatic block or does it just add to his AC?
It adds.
It adds
AC.
2
It
shield.
adds 5,
And what was your original AC?
19.
so that would take it to.
Yeah, it takes
24.
on
Oh wait, so
25
it meets the AC, so that still hits.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm not going to shield it.
Then you won't shield. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm not going to waste
Yeah.
it.
Well, he doesn't know.
Let's see. Yes, Naveen wouldn't know. So you tried the attempt to shield, but that does leave shield up for the rest of the turn. So Marlowe has to deal with that.
Okay.
I do 11 and I make it a stunning strike.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw, Naveen.
Okay, this isn't his specialty, but 18.
That passes.
Okay, all right.
Oh God,
And I yell
I don't want to be.
so that Marlowe has a point of reference as to where we are.
I can hear you.
Yep.
I know
As a
exactly where you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then Marlowe.
All right. How do I want to start this?
Oh
Bring
wait,
the pain,
did
Marlowe.
Source moved on?
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll the booming blade damage for Source's movement.
Oh,
What will I start with?
go ahead, Mar, while I find this stuff. But be gentle.
You said your con wasn't that good, huh? I'm gonna.
I don't have proficiency on con saves.
Interesting. I'd like to attack with the dagger of venom.
Whoa! Okay, go ahead and make your attack with the dagger of venom.
First. Am I at advantage here?
So
There's a lot at play of
you're
like
in a fog cloud.
Yeah.
So that would be disadvantage, but you have flanking thanks to Saurus, so that is advantage. So that's advantage. So this is just a straight roll.
Okay.
Yep.
It's 12 thunder damage from
Okay.
the booming blade move.
25.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
Breaks
That
the shield.
hits.
Yep.
Would you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Uh-oh. Will the
Just
dagger
for
of
you.
venom work?
Stop! Don't curse it.
Just for you, Wolf Girl. Just for you.
Yeah, you just see this like wolf charge out of the darkness to you, Naveen.
Oh. Ooh, it's a 12.
Oh, bitch. No. So let's start first things first. You get 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
I need to find a D10 very quickly. You get 16 points of poison damage.
Damn.
And you are poisoned for 1 minute.
Which gives you disadvantage on all attacks and saving throws, I think. Yeah.
The poison condition. Let's see.
Have fun.
And now
Twine's
she's
in
playing it again.
like Twine's in the veil. This is great.
Attack rolls and ability checks at disadvantage. Okay.
How much damage did we do to you, Source, in the first round?
I have 1 hit point left.
But Naveen is fucked. Twine's gone.
He's not fucked. He's
Not fucked, yeah.
still got some stuff.
Oh, you're not fucks? Okay. Let me start doing some regular attacks.
Wait, there's more.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have 2 more attacks.
Billy Mays this shit.
How do I add a character to the campaign?
You have to have a code. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh, that's why I'm clicking on stuff trying to
26
find it.
to hit, does the 26
26
hit?
breaks shield.
26 does hit, yes.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and
Oh, I didn't get sneak attack.
roll that one more time.
Oh wait, Naveen was on you. I do get sneak attack. I just forget that Twine has this in existence.
What do you mean?
And
Was
then
he
that's
rogue?
another 26 to
Yeah.
hit, so I get 2
Why-
rapiers on you.
Why would Naveen get sneak attack?
Sorry, Twine would have gotten sneak attack on his attack, but since I forgot, we will just
Okay.
we won't worry about it. Because I
Okay.
forgot
I
that I
don't
took a level of
Twine.
rogue.
Well,
that's
one of
pretty
them, the damage I deflected, and the other one still hit.
That's
So
true, yeah. You're good.
it wouldn't have mattered.
What are you doing to me, Marlo?
A lot of damage.
You did.
I've just done 36 points of damage to you.
Plus the 25 earlier, so that's 61 points of damage.
I got that first bit in. Oh, stop. You said how much? 36?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 36. Okay. Cool.
So, and how much
Where's
did
the
I do
gap?
to you? I did 11. So that Naveen should be
He's pretty low. He's pretty low. Yeah.
36, 46, 56, 61, and then I did 11. So that's 72 hit points of damage that you've suffered.
Yeah, he's
I would like to add that I did my own number of hit points in 1 round. my max HP in 1 round.
Yeah.
yeah, he
Oh my
is not
Is he at
he's limping. He's limping.
single digits?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Alright.
perhaps winged,
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be great at attacking us next round.
Yes.
I'm
So
sure I will.
with Twine running around in the shadow veil going, where the fuck am I? And Naveen going, well, maybe I don't like to be in the center of a sandwich. We will go ahead and pick up with the remainder of the fight next week. And then it is the official Festival of the King's Birthday.
Yeah.
And depending on, you guys might decide to do nothing but sleep the day before the masquerade ball. It's completely up to you. But there are things happening in the town on the day of the festivities, and then of course the next day, the masquerade ball. We are approaching the full moon. and many other coinciding events. So we'll pick up there next time.
And I will remind Marlowe that Saurus has a potion of healing and a potion of extra healing on him.
Okay, great. Because I think I used my last potion at some point. I don't remember when, but I don't have any anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, but if you need to bring me back.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Twine can't see you all because you're in the fog, so it'd be a
Oh,
disadvantage.
no, I have
Attacks.
two, but you have greater, so that's more important to remember.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, we'll pick up there next time.
And can I say, first round of damage, your Saurus is down to 1, and Naveen's down to single digits. It's just like, that's just after one round of combat. This is just nasty.
You know what's fun? Do you know what the only damage to Mar has been done? By herself.
Was by Marlowe.
Well, we have the 4 classes that are like, we kill things really fast, but we also die really fast. So
the glass.
Where it's 4 glass cannons aimed at each other.
Yep.
Well, I don't do that much damage because I'm only doing die 6 with each hit, but I can do 4 attacks in a round. So, but I'm nowhere near.
But you set me up beautifully.
And that is my job. Source does that in the battlefield.
No, it's an excellent combination.
All right, we'll pick up there next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.